I'm joined today by Cory Johnson of Cory Infinite. So thank you very much for joining me for the interview today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Would you like to introduce yourself and just tell a little bit about your brand before we start, if people don't maybe know?
Yeah, sure. My name is Cory Infinite. 21-year-old fashion designer from Kansas City, Missouri. Loved clothing my whole life. Ever since I was a child, I've liked to dress certain ways. And, in high school, I took a fashion design class my senior year, and that kind of like opened up the doorway to figuring out, oh, I can actually like make money from this, and I can actually like generate income through, making my clothes and making my art. So that kind of got me excited. And I went all through high school, not really enjoying the school side of things. And so I got to the senior year, took that class, and then graduated. I didn't want to go to college because I didn't like the school part. And I started a clothing brand right out of high school, and been doing it for about 3 years now. Graduated in 2020, and it's been the best decision I've ever made.
So you,
So
s-
that's where we're at.
so you said that you started when you were in high school. Is that when you started creating things for other people?
Yeah, so I made like a couple pieces when I was in high school, and then like my friends like saw them because I would wear them, and they were like, a couple of them were like, "Yo, I would buy that from you." So sold a couple pieces to my friends, and then that's what kind of like triggered my thought, like, if my friends want to buy them, I'm sure like more people would too. So I just made it like a new Instagram account, the one that literally we're on right now, and I just started posting content, posting my pieces every single day. My goal was to make a piece, design a piece, and post it every day and like sell it every day. And I was doing that for a while, like right after high school.
Every day?
Yes,
You made
yeah.
a piece of clothing or an accessory every day?
I was doing a lot of like, so I would order like fabric, and then it would come in the mail, and it'd be like blankets usually, or I would just find thrifted blankets, and I would just, usually what I would do is just cut them up and sew them into just like crew neck sweaters. And I was doing that for a while, and that's kind of like what got me started.
Is that still on your Instagram now?
Yeah, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a lot of the original sweaters that I used to do.
I can't believe I missed that. Okay, I'm absolutely doing that.
Please do.
Yeah. Are you still in Kansas City now?
Yes, I am. I'm actually still with my dad.
I know you wanted to get to New York. You've said that a few times in interviews in the past, and you also mentioned it on your TikTok live. Is that still a goal of yours?
So I never want, like, okay, I went to New York for the first time about 8 months ago, 9 months ago, something like that. And I loved it, but I figured out I would probably never live there just
Mm.
because I felt like I felt kind of like on edge the whole time because I don't know. I was in like taxis, and they just be flying by like people fast as hell, like with like inches to, it's just, I don't know. I can't do a lot of things like at the same place at the same time. It's just like it affects my
Overstimulating.
like creative process, I feel like, or just, yeah.
Right, I totally get that. So that means you're staying in Missouri then?
Yeah, like growing up, I wasn't the biggest fan of Kansas City, but now that I'm kind of able to do my own thing and like just like create and live, and
Mm.
I think it's like a great city to like bring the culture here. I think this city is like it's time, honestly, like because I mean we have a sports team that's doing great right now, Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
There's a lot of cool stuff that's happening, all of a sudden, and I'm just really excited about everything because I think it's honestly the perfect time for like a new, fresh like art scene, and I'm ready to be the one that pulls it together and makes it happen. So I'm honestly really excited to be from Kansas City and to rep it. So
You have a lot of friends there. You've got RJ from Vulture now. There's Nick is
Yep.
there.
Mm-hmm.
So you must have
Mm-hmm.
like a collective going on.
Yeah, that's something I've like always wanted to like try to like form is like a collective. But yeah, there's Vulture. There's I mean, my friend Ethan. My friend Ethan. He wants to be a musician, and I know he will, but he's figuring that out. My friend Nick. He does like music review and like just journaling and stuff. He's really good at that. And he's gonna go far with that. There's just a bunch of other people, a bunch of really talented artists that I'm, around, and I'm super excited to just grow with them and collab and get this city where it needs to be.
So does it affect your workability? Obviously, being away from a big city, but you've still got your collective.
I like it honestly. I think if I was in a bigger city, I would feel kind of like I don't know. I think it's like a good thing that I'm not in a big city kind of because not a lot of people are doing what I'm doing right now in Kansas
Right.
City, I feel like. And that kind of is like a little bit of a leverage for me in a way. Um but yeah, I'm excited and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm at like the perfect spot for what I'm doing, honestly.
And you still have opportunities there. I mean, you just did a music video with J Pro, right?
Yeah, so I actually flew up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where he lived.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so he's up north, and I just flew up there, spent like 4 days, 4 or 5 days up there with him, and hung out, and he showed me around the city, and we just it was just like I wanted to make something with him, like I want to do something. I was like, do you have any like music like or do you have any songs that you haven't like shot videos for that you want to? And he's like, yeah. So that whole video was shot on his iPhone with no like stabilizer or anything, just me, the iPhone,
Wow.
and him. And yeah, it turned out insane. So I don't know if you saw it or
I
not, but
haven't. I meant to watch it and then I just got incredibly busy and it came out days ago. So I've got no excuse really.
no, you're good. No worries. No worries. You're good.
That's really great that you got. How did that come about?
The music video?
Yeah. I mean, I know you've worked with him before.
Yeah, well, okay, so my friend Ethan showed me his music, like I would say like it's probably been like a year now, probably.
You mentioned him
And
a
I
year
just
ago in another interview, so at least.
yeah, at least. And I just followed him and then he followed me back randomly and then he just reached out and then we've been friends pretty much ever since. We hopped on like a FaceTime and it's just been a cool friendship ever since. And literally I haven't met him in person until literally
Oh,
like a couple weeks ago, for the first time, and that's when we filmed the video.
and you were such a huge fan of him. That must have been such a full circle moment for you.
It was super awesome, and I'm very grateful for all the people that support me, and I'm just excited to support everyone that supports me any way I can.
Yeah,
So
right. Did it
yeah.
start that way? Did you start growing that following from the very beginning? Like, if we talk about all the way back, middle school with Corey's Kicks, how did that come about? Did you have a group?
uh there's a couple kids that were into sneakers back in middle school that like
Okay.
I was like hanging around with. It was like me and like three other people probably, but that was a different time of my life. Like that wasn't fashion. That was just like literally shoes. Like that's all I cared about, honestly. It was just like basketball shoes. And I would just like I'd go to thrift stores, I'd be on eBay, I'll be on like Craigslist and I'd just be buying shoes and then selling them for more. And that's how I made money, when I was in middle school. That's kind of what I was doing.
Did you paint them?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I did not
okay.
paint them.
So you were
Mm.
just a reseller.
Yeah, literally just
Okay.
I bought shoes that I liked and sold the ones that I didn't want anymore, and then yeah, it'd be like a constant rotation through just all sorts of shoes.
In my head, I had a vision of Corey's Kicks because there's not photos online of this. So I had a vision of you painting your face onto like an Air Force One. That was in my head.
That's awesome. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Actually, you probably just spoke something that might actually happen.
I mean, that sounds sick to me.
Yeah, let's hit up Nike, get that going.
Okay, so Chorus Kicks wasn't the beginning of your like creative journey. You said there in another interview, it's actually the interview you did with Nick that you did concert photography. Was that before or
Yes.
after you started doing the clothing in middle school? Or
So
middle
that
school was
was
a bit later,
after.
actually.
That was like right after middle school, around like, well, actually no, this was like junior year of high school
Hmm.
is when we started to get into it. Me and
Okay.
Nick go back to like sophomore year of high school. We were doing like abandoned building photography. We
Oh,
would
okay.
literally like summer, I forget what, like summer 18 or like summer 17 or something, but we would just go in his car and just drive to like a new like abandoned building that was around the Kansas City area, and that was our thing, and we loved it, and we would just do that every day. And then time went on, and then we started to kind of transition, both of us
Mm.
transition into like concert photography. And around junior year we were just getting into concerts and taking photos of, you know, different musicians, and that's what we were doing. And then up until, excuse me, up until COVID hit,
Yeah.
we would, you know, we were doing that, and then COVID shut down all the concerts, and I had to figure it out. And that's what really pushed me to, you know, do fashion. So like COVID for
Okay.
me was really like the biggest blessing in disguise.
And that's when Infinite Pieces began, 2020?
Yes, Infinite Pieces began 2020. Yeah, literally right around when COVID hit. I was in my house, just like kind of bummed out a little bit. But then I was like, I can't just be sitting around. I got to be creating. I'm an artist. You know, I'm not just here to sit down and not do anything. You know, I think that has no purpose in it. So I literally I started on my mom's sewing machine from like the 90s. She kept it, and I made probably my first like 50 pieces on that sewing machine. And I still sometimes use it just as like a little backup here and there. Um, so yeah, thank you,
Everyone
mom,
needs a
for
singer
the
sewing
sewing
machine,
machine.
right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. For
So
real.
how did that start? How did you get the idea to start? I assume it's customizing clothes.
I think it really just goes back to what I've always loved. I think, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I've mentioned it a few times on like live, maybe in an interview, I'm not sure. But my mom has like a journal,
Yeah.
um, and she wrote probably about like 30 pages in it, and it was about me as a kid. So, and she kind of just like
Yeah.
documented it, like on the day I was born up until I was probably around like 8 or something. There's like 30 pages. It's not like that big, but I mean, she just wrote down what she really noticed that I was doing. And she wrote down when I was 3 years old, I was becoming very particular with what I wear, and I would be changing my outfit more than twice a day when I was 3. So it really just, well, yeah. And shout out my mom for that. That's real,
And for
and I
letting her
appreciate
read your and for letting you read her diary.
it. What's that?
And for her letting you read her diary.
Oh yeah, no, she literally just showed me that like probably 4 months ago for the first time, and I was like super stoked on it. So yeah, that's that. And so I really think it all just goes back to you know, my, you know, what I've always known. You know, I don't know why I love fashion, but like I do. And that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, because it's like, why would I not, you know?
Mm. Got to create.
Yes,
Mm.
always. That's how you grow. I mean, you know, you have to, like, if you're not creating, you're not growing, you're just doing nothing, which is not what life is.
Stagnant.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
you were Infinite Pieces starting maybe 2020, and then
Just
you
change the brand name.
was it just the name, or did you have a vision to go with this?
Um, it was honestly just the name.
Mm.
The vision is the vision though. I guess the vision though is, you know, turning my whole life into the brand in a way, because it's like I can branch out into whatever I want. I'm not like bounded, you know, by just clothing. I feel like Infinite Pieces was a little bit restricting in that sense.
Mm.
It's like pieces, but so I think, rebranding was a smart move for me because I can literally kind of do everything under the Cory Infinite brand. I don't have to just do fashion. I can do anything, I feel like. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. And I think it was a good move.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the name Cory Infinite. It has a ring to it. Is that,
Thank you.
do you think that's what helped you gain success on the social media?
Uh, I wouldn't say so. I mean, it has a good ring, but I mean, the work is what got me to where I'm at. I don't think, because if I didn't, I mean, I guess it's some of it, but
I mean, the branding
it's
of it. Not just the name, but
what
the
what,
branding of it.
what was the question though about the branding?
Do you think that's what helped you gain success on social media?
Um,
Because you're quite good at it. When you go on
I appreciate
TikTok, you
that.
always say, stay infinite. You have all of these catchphrases. I'm onto something.
Yeah. hmm
Do you think that helped you?
Oh, all of that definitely helped me. Along with the brand, name switch, definitely. Um, yeah, I think the branding is almost it's not as important as the actual art, but
Hmm.
it is very important because that's how you get it out there to impact other people, to inspire other people to to go out and get it themselves. That's that's a big reason why I do this, is to just really show other people that, like, as long as you believe in yourself and you work hard and you try your best every single day, to reach your infinite, anything can happen. So
So it's
yeah,
motivational branding.
yeah.
Is that purposeful?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, art. I mean, anything can be art, but I feel like good art, is deeper than just what it looks like. It's like, you know, it has something behind it that is more important than what it looks like. Does that make sense?
Totally, yeah. There's a
Yeah. So I
story
think.
Kid Super said when he went into Breaks in New York and he took t shirts there and they asked him what the brand was because they literally wouldn't buy it without having a brand, having a story behind it. And that's how he learned to brand his company. I wondered if you
mm,
had a parallel story in that regard.
Not really. No, I
Just
mean,
natural.
it really just came natural. Like, okay, so like where the name started, my Instagram username for the longest time when I was like doing photography was Cory Johnson 123.
Classic.
Because I was like, that's my name, Cory Johnson. That's my real
Has a
name.
ring to it.
It does, but I wanted to actually switch it up and just like create something fresh. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just. Well, okay, so this is the story actually. Me and my friend Nick, the photographer
Yeah.
friend, um, excuse me, we were just in his basement and we were literally just like brainstorming what words sounded good after Cory, and we
Mm.
we came up with like a list of like 10 that we really liked, and then Infinite was the one because it sounded the best and it felt right,
Worked with your
and I was like, all
ethos.
right, what's up?
Worked with your ethos.
Yeah, and then literally like everything just fell into place after that. So
So it's really
I'm very
purposeful.
thankful. Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I, I'm really interested to know how the blow up on social media has affected you. I'm assuming it's in a
Um,
positive way. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's done anything other than inspire me more, really. It's like really, I always knew that I was gonna, be successful, and I've always believed in myself.
Yeah.
And now that it's actually happening and it's starting to come together, is just like, it's really awesome. And I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful for everyone that's around me right now. And I'm just super excited, and I want people to see my excitement and get excited that, they can do anything that they want to. Like, I really hope people can look at my art and understand that I'm no different than them. I'm just some kid out here trying to just do what do what I've always done, and create, and create fashion. It's just all what I've loved to do my whole life. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to continue to do it and hopefully inspire as many people as I can along the way.
So online and offline then would be equally as inspiring to you, would you say?
What do you mean by that? Like offline?
So for example, you had your mask in 032C, which was then reposted on the Vogue Germany
Yeah.
website, things like
Uh-huh.
that. These offline opportunities that you've found, would you say that they're equally as inspiring as having a platform on which to share your
Mm.
vision and potentially,
Mhm.
get more sales?
Yeah, I mean, when like a moment like that happens, it's really exciting, and it's just one of those things that is like it's just like one of those things where it's like, all right, you're on the right track,
Mm,
and you just got to keep going. You got to keep going, and keep moving forward. Because if you stop, I mean, why did you even start? So, yeah, it's just really, when that happens, when different things happen, you just got to look at it as, like you're on the right track, but it's not it. It's not over yet.
not
You have
finished.
more to do, and you have more to reach. Your infinite is out there still. So, yeah.
And has the response online come to affect you in any way in real life? Because we know obviously that there are people that have made TikToks about you. I mean, you have 250,000 subscribe or
Mhm.
followers. So obviously people are going to stitch your videos and give their opinion. Has that affected you?
It kind of did at first.
Yeah.
Because I've never experienced that, and that was really interesting for me when I was like really starting to gain traction. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, like I knew this was going to happen, but now that it's happening, I've never felt this, and it's just like something really new, and you really just have to go through it to learn it in a way,
Yeah.
and it really doesn't matter at all, honestly. And that's what that's what I came to figure out, is like there's going to be a lot of people talking, and there's always going to be a lot of people talking, and none of it really matters as long as you're having fun, and the people that are around you know that you're okay, and you're not
Yeah.
some asshole. As long as the people that are close to you are you know
Supportive?
gotcha. Yeah, supportive, like, and know you're not doing something wrong. Like, that's all you need to be listening to. You don't, and even then, sometimes you got to even block out the people that are close to you, to really, because it's your life at the end of the day. It's not
Sure.
anyone else's. You have to prioritize you and figure out your vision, first. So that's how it goes.
For sure. And I don't necessarily think any of these TikToks, at least that I saw, were cruel. None of them really were mocking you. They were, I mean, this is definitely my opinion, but I thought they were more engaging with the way that you make
Yeah.
videos as opposed
Uh-huh.
to the way that you make clothing, right? Especially with Mark Boutelier.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's all love at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
know people are, always gonna, say things, or create, their own content off of, my content,
Yeah.
and it really doesn't matter. I mean, I'm gonna do me. They're gonna do them,
Right.
and it's love. So
For sure. Like from
yeah.
his side too, it seems like he was just kind of having fun, not necessarily, it didn't seem
Yeah.
ill intended. I even found like comments that he's replied to people asking if you two were good. And he said, yeah, it's just, just fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's nice to know that you didn't, take it negatively. I don't
Yeah.
think it was meant that way anyway, but that's nice to know. Something else that I noticed that people online on TikTok specifically were saying was that specifically Fashion Lover 4, who is a really great TikTok creator. I don't know if you know them.
I'm not sure if I
Not
saw their
yet,
account. Maybe.
but maybe.
Maybe.
Well, they did a collab with Mark, and they called you meme fashion,
I did see that video.
right?
Yes, I did
And
see that video.
I was so interested to hear what you think of that. How do you relate to the way of being called meme fashion?
Um, I mean, obviously everyone has their own, take on art. I wouldn't say, I mean, there is definitely aspects to my art that are somewhat memey,
Yeah.
but most of my art is not supposed to be like a joke.
Yeah.
And it's actually like just my expression
Yeah.
in what I wear. Sometimes I'll have fun and just make a random video that's joking around and, having fun. But
Yeah.
for the most part, most of my art, isn't really a meme, but I could see where a lot of people can think that.
Sure.
Just because I mean, a lot of because I feel like my I don't know, my clothes are like characters, and like characters can kind of like with the masks and stuff can kind of have that stigma behind it to where it's like it's just kind of like a joke in a way, I guess, or like a meme or something. But I don't care. I mean, I kind of went into that figuring that would happen, and it did. So it is what it is, and I'm just keep doing me and keep creating and keep having fun.
Keep going on. To be fair, I
Yeah.
don't necessarily think they were talking about the outfits that you make, like that you did in your fashion show, which we'll talk about in a second. I think they're more talking about the way that you present your clothes, like when you start your TikToks with "I'm onto something," and then you use like a found item or something from home or something from the
Yeah.
90s in the CD player example.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a little bit of a meme in a
Yeah.
way. I mean, it's a playful thing. I mean, it's not supposed to be like super serious, but it also does have a serious side to it where it's like if I say this, I mean it. But I mean, it's kind of like my thing where it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a thing where I just use it a lot now because I mean, it works,
Yeah.
and I have fun, making the videos, and I think people enjoy them, and yeah, I think it's just like a win-win situation, and yeah, I feel like it definitely, the I'm onto something, format is
Yeah.
definitely a little bit of a meme, I guess, but
Yeah.
it works, so
For those clothing, I don't think that they're saying that the meme is the clothing itself, just the format. However, your t-shirt with your face on it and the bag with your face on it, that's
Mhm.
so funny. That's
Yeah,
prime time meme. I was explaining
yes.
your work to a friend the other day and I called it a satire of internet culture. And I feel like that works so well. And it
I feel
definitely,
like it's a good, yeah, that's a good explanation, I would say. Yeah, it's just like if I get an idea, I mean, I try to just like I try to do most of the ideas that I like that pop into my head. I try to like create them into like reality as much as I can.
yeah,
And some of them are goofy, some of them are very serious, so it's all kind of just what I'm feeling. I just kind of go everything, I base everything off what I want and what I feel, and what feels good. So,
very much.
and sometimes throwing my face onto a backpack and putting a wig on it is what feels good. So,
I thought that was
yeah.
so funny. I just thought that was so funny. I got the humor, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad it worked.
It very much worked for me. Do you distinguish your catwalk, like your one of a kind pieces, with those kind of? I'm now going to start calling them meme fashion pieces. I just think it works so well. Do you distinguish them?
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Like, do I like separate them or
Yeah,
like? I would say, yeah, I would say there's like the merch side of my brand, and then there's the handmade one of one piece side.
exactly.
So obviously, like the t-shirts, a lot of the t-shirts that I actually make are hand screen printed still, and
Yeah,
like I hand screen print them. But obviously that's not as difficult as sewing a piece, by hand and whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely, I have, the merch side because I want everyone to be able to afford my products.
mm,
Even if you like, I want people to be able to support me if they want to, even if they can't buy like an $1,000, jacket or
yeah.
something. So
So, with that being said, I really want to bring up your fashion show that you did in February 26, 2022.
mhm.
The tickets sold out in 9 minutes.
Yeah, I was shocked. My mom was at the front, and literally like it was like I forget when the doors opened, maybe like 8:20 or something. I was just like back. We had like this curtain set up for all the models, and I was just back there. I was like peeking around the curtain, and like the people just keep flooding in, and then like literally in like 9 minutes, there's just this huge like entire like mob of people, and I'm just like, I was just geeking. I was geeked,
It looked
but
incredible. How did you
it was
feel?
so cool. Uh, I had a lot of dopamine just flowing through my body, like a lot of adrenaline, probably. Just like, yeah, a lot of just excitement and thankfulness. And it was the best day of my life, literally. And yeah, it was the literally, I don't know how to really explain it to you other than it was the best day ever.
It looked incredible. Could you tell us about the concept behind it?
Yeah, so I just it was, at a point in my career where I was like, I want to throw an actual show where people can come to this and like feel it and really like be submerged within like the whole like my whole mind, like
Yeah.
I want like people to physically be able to experience kind of my world. And the whole thing was literally planned out like in a couple days. Like I
Oh,
went to the venue. Well, actually, not the whole like walking of
okay.
like that part was kind of like planned out. Like I didn't do like rehearsals for it until like the day of. I had people come
There's
like,
footage.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's literally behind the scenes footage and stuff of it on YouTube. Shout out 273 Rodriguez
Yes.
Calvin, the videographer, goat in the making. Yeah, if y'all haven't seen that, go check it out, and you can definitely.
Oh, it will be on the
Um,
screen while we're
but
talking.
okay, okay,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah, you're
100%.
saying that. Sick, 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 sick.
It's
Cool.
it's a very it's I really, really, really enjoyed that show. It was so
That makes me happy. I'm really excited that people can see that and experience it, as well as in, on your phone. Not like because that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be something where people can feel it in person and then
yeah.
also feel it, through watching a video about it. But yeah,
It was really good. Tell me about the plan of the walking, where you had them all line up at the back with RJ's models as well, all at the back, and then they
yeah,
dispersed. What was the plan there? What were you thinking? And then somebody laid down on the floor. What was the
yeah. That wasn't really even planned. He just did that, and the plan was
in the
literally like,
plague mask? So funny.
yeah, 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 literally. And so basically we got to the venue at, I want to say, I don't know, maybe like 12 o'clock, maybe like 2 o'clock, something like that. And I had all the models there. I got up on the stage and I just told everyone what we're going to do. We got in uniform, we got suited up, and then we walked through it. And I was kind of just like leading everyone through it. And then we did it one time and it went perfect. And then we were good to go. And then we probably got done like rehearsal at like, I don't know, 5 or something. And then everyone did their own thing. Some people went and got food. Some people stayed. I was at the venue the whole day. I just stayed there, didn't go anywhere. And doors opened at 8:30 and everyone was ready to go at like around 8. So it was super sick. I love it. I love thinking about that day. It was literally so sick. And me and RJ, we're gonna try to get something going this year. We need to. We were talking about that not that long
Mm.
ago. So stay tuned for a little part two action on that.
I can't wait. If you did another show, I'd absolutely love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. I really, really enjoyed the first one. I know they're so expensive.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was literally I rented out. So the venue that I did it at was a wedding venue. It was meant for weddings. And I would actually go to that venue every year for my soccer banquet in high school. So like after the soccer year, we'd have like this like banquet thing where we would all come together at that place and just eat dinner, and like the teams would get like awards and stuff. Like different players would get like awards and stuff. And so that's where I originally like knew about it. And I was just like, I was thinking like, okay, what's a good spot for this? And it's crazy because it's called Heritage Hall. It's literally like 3 minutes from my house. I
I'll
drive
look it
by it
up.
like every day.
I will find it. I will put a picture.
Cool, cool.
You know what I loved about the show as well? Love the clothes, but the one thing that really made me smile was the fact that your high school fashion teacher was
Yeah.
present.
Yeah. I emailed her. I was like, you got to be here because without you, I would not have ever really took this serious. Like that class, like I said, you know, the high school class, the fashion design class, that's what really taught me how to, you know, use a sewing machine at first. And then after that, the rest is history. So I had to have her there. And yeah,
Did she show you
that was
how to
really
do
awesome.
the headpieces as well?
No, that kind of came the headpieces were honestly pretty far after, you know, high school. Like I want to say that was maybe like a year after high school. I started really getting into like the masks and stuff. But she taught me how to just do, you know, a sewing machine, just the basics of how to really just use one. So
How
yeah.
did the masks come about then?
Uh I think I want to say the first mask I ever made was like literally lace material, like just a square piece of lace material. I got it and I just put it on my
The
head, and then I
doilies.
put, what's that?
The doilies.
This is even before that,
Oh, okay.
but that was like the second thing. But yeah, I just got a piece of lace material, wrapped it around my head, and got a hair tie and just tied it in the back, and it just like it was like just like this lace like mask just like sucked to my face, like. And that was, I think, the first mask. If you scroll down on my Instagram, you might be able to find it. But yeah, and then after that, I loved I loved I don't know, I love being able to create something, sit back, and then interpretate it, because a lot of the time when I'm making my art, I don't even know what I'm making until it naturally falls into place while I'm creating it. Like I get
Okay.
material, I pull things together, and I don't know why I do it. Like I said, I think it just goes back to always doing it and always loving, you know, fashion.
Mm.
And a lot of the time I just discover these characters as I'm creating them. I don't even really I don't sketch out really anything. I get material and then I just start sewing things, and I start, you know, taking things apart, you know, screwing things back together, and just trying to just, yeah, I'm trying to just create these characters, honestly, because the characters are like really a fulfilling feeling when you can just like look back and like, you know, just come up with like different stories and concepts around like this one character. And I love being able to do that. And that's like a big reason why I'm gonna always honestly do it. Like, yeah.
Is that is that why you chose to go down that route of like one of one pieces then? Because if you're draping, if you're making them in this kind of raw creative way, obviously that lends itself more to one of one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big reason. I mean, that's like one of the main reasons I really do one of one, because it's like that's the one thing that will always be there that will give me that feeling of excitement and um just like total uh freedom and expression. Like
Mm.
it's so free that I feel like I don't even, like I said, I don't know what it's going to be until I make it, and then I discover it, and that's like the best thing ever.
So we talked
So
before about your creative process, and you were telling me that a lot of the time you will go down to a charity shop or a thrift shop in the States, and you would find materials there. Is that also part of the one of one, or is sustainability the key here?
it's, yeah, I like a lot, like literally one of ones, like all the one of ones and like all the stuff that I I make, 98% of the material comes from thrift stores or secondhand stores or garage sales or
Oh,
estate sales or just honestly anywhere I could find it. I don't know if you saw the video I just made, but me and my friend Nick went on a photo shoot, and at the scene of the photo shoot there was like this trash compactor and there was like a cardboard box next to it. I opened it up and there was like all this old technology and there's like a bunch of phones. I just grabbed it, threw it around my neck,
oh
and it honestly completed
yes.
the outfit. So
Yes,
I
I do
just
remember
really
this.
I love being able to just like find everyday objects and turn them into something completely different, and show people that there's really no right or wrong to fashion or art. There's no boundary to it. It's truly infinite as long as you believe in it and have fun while doing it.
With that being said, then, if that is a massive part of your process, and I did a bit of research, obviously, for this interview, and 2 years ago on Reddit, you mentioned that you had a US supplier. What was that for?
Was it for blankets?
I have no idea. It was totally out of context. You just mentioned that you had a supplier.
It was probably for blankets. So what I would do for the tapestry sweaters that you can see on my account, if you scroll back, the ones that I was
Yes.
like first doing, I would get a photo and I would literally edit the photo to where there'd be the front of the sweater, the back of the sweater, and then both of the sleeves. And you upload that photo to walmart.com. And Walmart does custom photo blankets, custom woven fabric photo blankets. And you literally just put the picture on it, order it online, and then they'll ship you a blanket with your design on it, with your picture on it. And then I would get that blanket, cut out the front, cut out the back, and then cut out the sleeves of the blanket and just make them into sweaters.
With your face on.
I don't know if I did. There's probably one where my face was on one, I'm sure. But yeah,
I can't believe they do that. That's so incredibly
yeah.
convenient. Having this US supplier, I'm going to put that in quotation marks now, having this US supplier, Asda slash Walmart, and then having your thrift shop, do those things sort of affect your pricing strategy?
Yeah, definitely. The pricing my pricing strategy really just comes down to what I believe it's worth. I mean, with, time and energy and creativity and all sorts of different things. So yeah, it really just comes down to what the feeling is of
Mm.
it, I guess. So yeah, definitely. And, I'd price, the sweaters, accordingly. Cause like, the blankets cost about like $90 per blanket, plus the time you spent designing it, plus the time you spent cutting up and sewing it. So there's just a lot of different things that go into that, but it's just, based off feeling, really.
So you're saying you didn't have a pricing strategy? You don't have a pricing strategy?
The strategy is what I feel. I think that's how you can I think that's like the only way you can really price art or put a price tag on art, is just like, what you feel it's worth. I mean, I don't think there's any other thing or any strategy you can really go on it about it, really, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm so curious about this because I was wondering why on your website you have things that are, much more affordable. You have some masks on there for like $50, and then you have other masks that are on there for $1,000. What is it
Hmm.
to you that distinguishes $950?
Hmm. Just, you know, like I said, the time, the effort, the creativity, the feeling. It's just like, that's the only way I can really explain it. It's just like, I just look at it and just I just I think about it for a second. I'm like, all right, that's well, that's worth that. And that's how I do it. I don't spend too much time thinking about it. I just
Go
yeah,
for
I
it.
just put it yeah, I go for it, and that's that.
That's really interesting. So then I'm assuming in the future you're going to do small drops of products like you did with the recent jumpsuits. Would you
Yeah.
be doing that just on feeling again?
everything's on feeling. Everything is like, that's how I've always done things, is like, I'm never going to just do something that doesn't feel like the right thing to be doing. I try to prioritize my time with like what I enjoy doing. Like, I was really into masks for a while. I was creating a lot of masks. And then, that kind of switched a little bit into like jumpsuits. I'm doing a lot of different jumpsuits. That's how it's been through my whole entire life with my art journey. I was like, when I was a kid, I was drawing a lot. After that, I got into origami in second grade. I was like mad into origami. After origami, I got into photography, and the story on that.
Oh yeah.
We were doing abandoned, building into concerts and infinite. Yeah.
Do you think that'll affect your ability to scale then in the future?
I'm trying to figure that out right now, really. That's really something I've been thinking about and trying to figure out. I don't know a lot about, taking this to like a manufacturer, type level yet. I think that will naturally come as I start to, get bigger and generate more income and whatnot. So, I'm going with the flow, and I'm going with the feeling, and I know everything will work out as long as I, continue to create and work hard and have fun and be me. So that's how it's going right now.
I think that's very, very, very interesting. I think a lot of other creatives start in that same way. They've got a creative vision, they've got a place that it wants to go, and they need something to help them funnel that into a more business-like venture.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like, I don't even like, I have an accountant that kind of takes care of like the business side and like organizes my analytic side for me and stuff. Cause I'm not a big like analytic kind of person. Like, I like making, the content and marketing and stuff, but like when it comes to like the money side, I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, so I mean, I guess I kind of do. I have started that process in a way. I have someone kind of taking care of that for me. But I'm gonna figure out the rest when the time is right. So
sure, yeah, money's not easy. Money's very difficult.
True.
Especially to coincide that with being creative, it's really difficult. Most of the like really big famous designers that we have now, Yusuf Safati, who did Y Project, Leaks, anybody like that, they tend to have themselves doing the creative and somebody to help them with the more number crunching aspects of the business.
Yeah.
So in that regard, what are you wanting to see as a development for your business?
That's a great question. I just really want to be able to just positively impact as many people as possible. And, obviously, through doing that, it's going to require, some more people on board, and, so I think I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, because, it seems to be working right now. And, yeah, I mean, I'm having fun, and I want to just, continue to always have fun, when I'm creating and when I'm making things, whether it be content or art. And, yeah, like I said, everything I think will fall into place as long as I just keep going and keep moving forward. And yeah, that's what's going down.
So is there anything in the future that you want to tell us that you have coming up, perhaps? Maybe a 3-year plan or something sooner? 1-year plan?
There's no there's no firm plan on anything other than just continuing to try my best every day and go with what feels right, because it's worked so far. And I think that's what's going to continue to take me down the right path, as long as I keep going. It comes down to the time that you spend making things and putting content out there. Like, if you're someone that wants to become like a successful anything, you just have to stay consistent at it. You have to put in a lot of work. Nothing comes for free. Nothing is going to be handed to you, especially if you're trying to see how far you can go. And that's like the best part about it. the journey, the discovery of how far you can take something. And I'm just really excited about it. I'm excited about life. I think life is like a gift and an opportunity for you to just discover, what you like, and however far you can take whatever you like to whatever level you want. It's just, I don't know, life is truly infinite, and I'm blessed to be here. And that's what, is like kind of my fuel.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So do you have in the future things that you would like to do, i.e. goals? I know you said in the Nick interview that you wanted to do a tour of pop-up shops. Anything along those
Yeah.
lines?
Yeah, I'd love to do a little like pop-up shop, or I think it'd be also cool to do like a performance art kind of thing, like with dancing or something.
Sure.
With like my outfits, and maybe have like a group of people choreographed, to music and stuff. I think that would be super sick to do, and have like a little tour for that. I just love traveling, and it always gives me a lot of inspiration when I see new places and meet new people. So I think just doing like a tour like that would be really awesome. And I want people to like see this stuff in person, because I think, seeing, art online is a lot different than actually being able to experience it in the flesh. And I think like you can really impact some people in person, if,
Yes.
yeah, it's just like, it's a whole new thing, when you're actually there experiencing a piece of art. So I really want to just be able to, do that
Go
for
for
the
it.
people
Yeah.
that want to see it, and want to support me. So
And honestly, now
yeah.
COVID is over, or not over, but is coming to an end.
Mhm.
It's more possible. I mean, you could always,
Yeah.
do you know Arse Pizza or Ass Pizza?
Yes, I do.
So where they didn't they do a tour of the States out of their car boot?
Yes.
Something like
Yeah, I
that would
believe
be.
I believe they did something like that. Yeah, no, I shout out Ass Pizza. That's definitely an inspiration to me.
Sounds better with your American accent. It doesn't sound as good with mine. Arse Pizza
I didn't
sounds good.
notice the difference.
I feel like
But
something
yeah.
along those lines is definitely,
Yeah,
possible.
I think I'm gonna wait a little longer until I have a little bit more of a foundational like
Hmm.
group of people that are like really eager to like come out and like support, in person kind of thing. I think I need the fan base to be a little bit bigger, and we'll get there. We'll get
I don't
there.
doubt it. Yeah, I do not doubt that in the least bit.
I'm very blessed to have all these amazing people. Like it's so amazing that like I'm able to just do things that I like, and can also inspire people in doing that. It's like life. It just makes me so excited. It's all I really can't put it into words.
It must be very validating, especially when you go on to, I don't know if you've watched any of your interviews. It might be a bit weird for you, but if you go onto any of them and all of the comments are the infinite sign emoji over and over and over again, it's very nice to see so many people rallied behind. I mean, you're even a pre-brand in a way, like you're a creative individual, right? So it's so nice to see so many people rallied behind an individual, a creative.
It's so amazing. It's truly a blessing.
So that actually really leads me very well into the next section, which is, prior to this interview, we asked a bunch of your Instagram followers to submit questions that we could ask you towards the end of the interview. And one of
Yeah.
your followers actually asked you, what does infinite mean to you? That phrase, be infinite. What does it mean to you?
Infinite means everything to me. And I mean, like, I want, when I want people to understand, when I say the word infinite, it's really just a mirror. It's a mirror back at them, saying that there's no boundary to your life. You were put here for a reason. There are infinite, possibilities for you to become whoever you want to be, create whatever you want, and to just do whatever, as long as you just focus, work hard, and have fun, and try. And I think as long as you're trying, that, that's all you can do. And that's what it's about. That's what life is about, I think, is trying to reach your infinite every single day, trying to be a better you every single day. And
Right.
that's
Championing
that's
your
what
own
my message is.
authenticity.
What'd you say?
Championing your own authenticity.
Yeah, literally, like just every single day, just trying to be on it and trying to become better, infinitely, and just try to just reach it. Because obviously, I mean, you're never going to, but that's the best thing ever, because you'll learn a lot on the way. You'll learn about you, and you'll learn about what you like, what you don't like. You'll learn however much you want to learn, as long as you keep going and keep exploring your mind and your infinite.
So that very well leads me into the next question. You were talking about doing things that you like, and somebody asked, when is the infinite undergarments?
Bro, that's Kelvin, bro. That's 273.
It's Kelvin.
He's always asking me that, bro. Every time I link up with him, he asks me that. So, you know, on a serious note,
you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's got to be done.
It would be great
one day,
marketing.
I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'll tell you, it's gonna happen.
That's the next fashion show. Savage X Infinite.
No, that would be wild.
So my next question is, what made you want to make this type of clothing and fashion design?
I think, honestly, it's just what I have around me. I don't have a crazy budget to spend on, material and fabric. I really just find things that I think look cool, and then use them in ways that I think they should be used in my, vision, in my world. So that's basically how it goes. I find things that I think look cool, and then I turn them into art, and that's how I do it. So yeah.
Somebody actually asked a really good question that leads on from this. They said, do you believe that your interpretation of your art is the correct interpretation? Or I'm assuming they mean, or is it open to interpretation?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all my art is open for interpretation. I think there's really not a right or wrong way to interpret a piece of art. A piece of art is up for interpretation by the viewer, based off what the viewer has been through and seen and experienced through their whole life. So I'm not gonna, sometimes I'll put pointers and like different things. I think what I usually do with my art is I create the art, I leave it up for interpretation, but then there's a side to my brand that I literally directly say to you what the art as a whole means. It's about being yourself, it's about being infinite, it's about trying your best and exploring different areas of your life, different areas of your artistic whatever. And so yeah, I think I like being able to create these pieces, these characters, and allow the viewer to really just have their own creativity and create their own meaning, because there's no right or wrong to interpreting a piece. And I just I hope for the most part that I can just inspire everyone that sees it, and I hope everyone that sees my art can understand that it's just a piece of art, but they can do whatever they want to. They can create something like that if they want it, if they wanted to. It's just I'm doing it because it's just like I'm doing it because it's like that's all I kind of know how to do, and it's kind of what I've always liked to do. So you can view that and think whatever, but that's that. And yeah, that's how it goes.
I think this leads on again really well to another question we got. So somebody said, so many of your designs have been drawn by artists. Any plans for a book with detailed designs, or the details of your designs?
Shout out Gregory for the question. Go check him out. I don't know his tag off the top of my head.
I have it, but your face is covering the tag. Afterwards, I
Sure.
will ask you to send
You'll
me
put okay.
like that clip
Yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
have it in the video. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. First off, shout out Gregory, talented illustrator, artist, dude. That would be super sick. I've thought about doing like a comic. I think it'd be super sick to do like a comic with my characters. I need to find the right person, um, and the right, excuse me, connection to kind of like make that happen. I think, but obviously, I'm gonna let that just fall into place when it needs to, and I'm gonna pursue it when I feel it needs to be pursued. But I could definitely see myself doing that, and maybe doing a collaboration with some like comic book, one day, or maybe Gregory, if you want to do a little little illustration collaboration, let's get it going.
Okay, so this next question doesn't really flow on so well, but I still think it's a really interesting question. They asked, "What's the best thing that works for you when you fall apart, when you're having a down day?"
Mm, I think the best way for me to find peace is skateboarding. That's like another hobby. That's like a hobby that I do that like creates just like pure bliss and like allows me to like escape from everything. And yeah, I think skateboarding is a thing where it kind of like restarts.
Mm.
I literally, like, I was at the skate park earlier, like right before we hopped on this live, or this phone call.
Mm.
And I think finding something that is a healthy, beneficial, maybe it might be reading, it might be exercising. I think it's different for everyone, but finding that thing for you, and just, you know, doing it whenever you feel you need to, do it. That's kind of what helps me like restart and refresh. So yeah, that's really, I think, what it is, just skateboarding, honestly, for me.
And is that how you stay motivated to keep creating too?
Um, no, it's not that really. It's really, I think the way I stay motivated is just, I don't really need to be motivated. I just kind of already like doing it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I just like creating things. I always have, like I said, and I don't know. That is just like a weird question. I don't know. It's just, I like it, so I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna just continue to. Nothing more, nothing less.
So somebody asked, what was your, like you said about, you always felt this way, right? So what was your first fashion project and how did it go?
It's a great question. I think the first project would be like when I was a kid, just throwing fits together. Like, but
Styling.
like, what's that?
Styling.
Yeah, I would just say like styling different, pieces that I had, and stuff like that. But was your question like actual like project where I was like making something? Was that kind of like more of what you were asking?
I don't know. This person says, what was your first fashion project? So I assume both.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll give you that answer, but I feel like I can probably answer it on a different
Styling's
level
very
too.
valid. I mean, if you think about Charles Jeffrey.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of like the first thing I made. Okay, in middle school, I took like a facts class where it's kind of
Facts.
like, it's like sewing, culinary, and just like things, life, just common, just like life stuff, I guess, stuff like that. And they had like a sewing course in the class, and we all made like a drawstring bag, and that was probably when I was in like 7th grade.
Very
I
cute.
still have the bag somewhere. It's just like a simple like black little drawstring bag.
You find that, you send me the photo. I want to see that.
I will try to. I think it's somewhere around here. I'll have to do some digging, but I'll find it.
That's a mum question that she'll know where that
Yeah,
is, you know?
true, true.
So the next person asks, where do you pull your inspiration from?
Everyone asks me that, and I always just, I mean, the best answer I can tell you is life.
Hmm.
You can be inspired by anything. people fail to realize that inspiration is literally all around them, and most importantly, it is right here. It is inside of you. There's no other place that you really need to look other than inside of you for inspiration. So that's kind of like something I don't know. It's kind of an overrated question in my opinion, because it's like I feel like the answer is pretty obvious. It's just it's right in front of you. You just have to go out and get it. You have to go out and do it. You know, inspiration is not going to just come to you. It's not just going to like randomly appear one day. You have to be the inspiration, and then in doing that, everything else will fall into place. The motivation and the process will just naturally come. You just have to go out and do it, and be it, you know?
Do you
So
have your
that's,
top influences or inspiration for design? What is for you specifically?
I would say, I mean, I really don't pay attention to the actual fashion industry that much. I really don't pull inspiration there. Obviously, I
Mm.
see it because, I mean, it's what I'm in, it's what I'm a part of, but um, I really don't focus on it or dive too deep into it. I would say a lot of my inspiration, you know, from other artists come from musicians,
Mm.
or honestly a lot of, yeah, I mean, a lot of music is a big inspiration. Trying to think what else. Just different stuff. Like nature is an inspiration to me.
Mm.
Like just like looking at different plants and seeing different animals and bugs and like all these crazy things that are literally just right in front of us. Yeah, I think there's inspiration in everything, really.
Life.
Infinite.
So this is kind of the last question. I want to do a little rapid fire after this, but this is like the last actual question. What was the most life-changing event you've ever had?
uh, Starting my clothing brand, and
Which
equally
one?
as, what do you mean?
Which one? Corey's Kicks,
Oh,
Infinite Pieces, Corey
great
Infinite.
question. That's a great question. The infinite pieces, because
Okay.
that was the start to all of my clothing and what has got me here talking to you right now. So definitely the infinite pieces account. And then also equally to that, I would say just the fashion show. The fashion show
Mm.
was life changing, and like I said, the best day of my life so far. So yeah, just those two things.
Okay, so let me do rapid fire, okay?
Yes.
So these are just maybe one word answer kind of things. Okay. How old are you?
21.
Favorite mythological creature?
Uh, a liger.
Ooh, that's real. That's a
Wait, is
real
that real?
Yeah.
I just said that because that's what Napoleon Dynamite said.
No, that's a real animal.
Okay, I take that back then if it's
Okay.
not real. A dragon.
Okay, love a dragon. Next one is why are you so short? So funny.
I'm I'm 6'2", so I mean I don't think I'm that short.
Petite even, petite.
I
Someone
mean I'm
says
skinny, but
you just have to lay down and you're extra short.
yeah.
Favorite memory?
Mm, probably the fashion show, I would say, just because it was the best day ever.
Yeah. Do you like Machine Girl?
I do enjoy some of their music. Yeah, I need to get more into their music though, but what I've heard is dope. Hmm.
Someone says Slay.
Always.
And I think last one is top 5 greatest albums of all time.
Okay, I don't know off the top of my head, but Velocity Design Comfort by the band Sweet Trip is
Okay.
definitely in there. That's like my favorite album ever. Uh, Maybe Ghost Pop Tape by Devon Hendrix, aka JPEG Mafia.
Okay, yes. They
Uh,
wore your clothes. I've seen it.
uh, I mean, I'd have to think on it. I can't give you a top five right now.
Top two is
I
good.
need time.
Top two is
But
good.
yeah.
All right, that's literally all the questions I have for you then. So thank you so much for joining me today, Cory. It's been really genuinely a lovely chance to get to know you better.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really awesome.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you very, very
Yeah.
much. If anybody wants to see more interviews like this, let me know what kind of creator you'd like to see me interview. Maybe a designer, maybe somebody else in fashion. Love to do that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and to my beauty channel. Never forget that. And my Patreon is also linked below just in case you want to check that out for yourself. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.